Hello and welcome to the AFL Riverina Football and Netball Show. I'm your host, Hannah Maguire. Well, finals fever has well and truly hit the Riverina. We'll talk about the first round of finals in the Farrer League soon in the Footy Show. We'll also chat about the last round of the RFL this season. But first, we're joined by Riverina Lions President Mel Highland to talk about their first round of finals this weekend. Welcome to the show, Mel.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Now tell us, this is the first round of finals for you. Who do you play?
We're taking on Tuggeranong up in Canberra this weekend.
All right, and how are you expected to go?
We've had two strong wins over the Tuggeranong Footy Club this year. We're quietly confident, but hoping to go into the final without being too complacent.
Okay, where did you finish on the ladder?
We finished as minor premiers. We went into the last round one game ahead of Tuggeranong, and we came away with a draw, so it only put us 2 points in front of Tuggeranong.
You must have had a pretty strong season.
Yeah, we only dropped 2 games, and those 2 games were in Canberra. We seemed to play fairly well at home.
So you play most of your footy in Canberra against Canberra sides?
No, we have a home and away season, so we play half of our games in Wagga and the other half are in Canberra.
Okay, and so what oval will you be playing at on the weekend, and what time if anyone wants to get down and check you guys out?
It's a fairly early start. We play at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. in the morning, and it's at Stirling Oval in Canberra.
Okay, now tell us about your key players and what makes them so valuable to your team.
This year we've had a young star called Paige Mathewson. She's playing up at full forward, and she narrowly missed out on the weekend for the leading goal kicker award for the entire league, so we're hoping that she can fire this weekend. We've also got some good run across the half-back line. We've got Rhiannon Bush, who's just come back from representing the ACT at the National Women's AFL Championships, and we've got a good core of experienced midfielders.
Okay, and for the opposition, who are the ones that you want to sort of, keep your eye on there?
We'll be keeping an eye on their centre half back, Angela Ballerini. She's fairly strong there, so we'll make sure we've got a nice big forward to hopefully cut off any run that she's going to have. And we'll also look to put Rhiannon Bush on Kat Girardello, who's also pulled pretty well when it comes to the goal kicking. Okay,
now tell me, do you think you can win?
I'm quietly confident. We've had 2 really good wins over them this year, and the last one was only a couple of weeks ago, so hopefully we can do it.
Okay, well, good luck. Thanks for joining us, Mel. Well, it's the first round of finals in the Farrer League this weekend. We're joined in the studio now by Paul Harble from AFL New South Wales ACT. Welcome to the show, Paul. Now, we're going to talk about these games. We've got the qualifying final first. Temora play the Northern Jets as the Rock finished as the minor premiers. They've got the week off. Who do you think will win this one?
This will be a very interesting game. I really can't see Temora being beaten. They've just got some goal-kicking power, they've got midfield strength, and they've got a settled back line. The Jets have struggled with form during the year. They need to be playing the most consistent football they've had for this season, but I just think Temora are going to be far too strong. The Jets have got a really good midfield with Hadrell, Fisher. They've got some goal-kicking power with Foster. Jamie Grindle's hitting his straps even though he's a veteran, but I'd suggest that Temora will be too strong for the Jets, but it'll be a very interesting game. If the Jets can play to their potential, and Blackwell's kicking some goals for Temora as well. But I'm suggesting Temora will be too strong for the Jets.
Yeah, in the last half of the season, Temora have had quite a few injuries. Do you know if they're back at full strength?
Look, they've still got some niggles. I think Kruger's still got a bit of a niggle with his injury, but I think they've had a bit of a break, some of their players, and I think they will be back. They'll carry some injuries into the game this time of the season. I think every player does to a degree, but I think those players will be back, and again that'll help Temora and their strength, and they'll be too good for the Jets.
Do you reckon where it's being played at Mar Oval, it could sort of influence anyway, or?
Oh, Mar Oval is an interesting ground to play on. If you use Mar Oval and you use the space, if they kick the space and they run the footy, and there's plenty of scope to get the ball from one end to the other pretty quickly. It depends. If they go too wide, they're in trouble. They'll spend too much time on the boundary line. But I think if they play the corridors and kick to their strengths in their forward lines in Foster and Blackwell, well, that'll make a difference. Depends, of course, on the back line strengths of both clubs and who can stop the guys kicking the most goals, obviously.
Okay, well, you're going tomorrow there. We'll talk about the elimination final. Now, whoever loses this one is out of finals contentions. Mara, they play East Wagga at McPherson Oval in North Wagga.
This will be a really good game of footy. I think they're really evenly matched, both sides, both Mara and East Wagga. Obviously, Mara have last week, for a change, actually came from behind to win a game of football. Normally they fall away in the second half. East Wagga have been consistent in the last few weeks. Young Nicholas Hull's probably been one of their most consistent players across the season. Mara, I mean, the captain coach and Clint Taylor, as you know, he's a real rocket in the back line. Their midfield strength is okay. They've got Websdale's been kicking some goals up forward. But again, I think this will be a pretty close game, and I don't want to be biased here, but I think Mara might just get over the line against East Wagga.
It'll be a very even game, all the same. So the winner of that game will play the loser of the qualifying final. Is that right?
Yeah. So the winner goes on, the loser bows out for the season. The loser out of the Temora and Jets game will play obviously the winner of this game, and then someone will have a crack at the Rock the week after.
Okay, and these two finals are all happening on Saturday at 2:30. Is that right?
We've got Saturday and Sunday. Saturday the qualifying at Mara Oval. Sunday the elimination at McPherson Oval. So a good weekend of footy.
Okay, make sure you get out there and support your team. We've also got another round to go in the RFL. Now this is the last round, isn't it, Paul?
It certainly is, yeah, one round to go.
Okay, we will start with Colin Gully versus Turvey Park. They had an enormous win against Mango at the weekend. They should go in as favourites for this game, you'd think?
I'd suggest, I mean, the game, the Colin Gully and Mango game, I thought it would be a lot closer, but talking to Nathan Irvin yesterday, their coach, it was, you know, they've got a lot of injuries and they're trying to plug a few gaps, so perhaps they can regroup. But I think Gep kicked 7-10 last week, Aitken kicked 7, which was interesting. So they've got some goal kicking power, and both those blokes are first and second on the goal kicking ladder for the RFL. So that's an interesting one. But I'd suggest, look, Turvey Park will be really looking forward to the end of the season. They've had a really tough year. Young Mattingly and Cunningham have been really good young players for them, and they're going to grow into really good RFL players if they hang around. But I'd suggest Colin Gully be too strong. They may even rest a few players going in, and that's no disrespect to Turvey, but they've got finals coming up, and I think Colin Gully will be far too strong. Okay,
we'll go on to Griffith versus Mango. This should be not a bad round, but you know, Mango, they'll be trying to fight back.
I think Griffith have been very disappointing this year, the Swans, and I think they know that. They've been very inconsistent across the journey. I think the fact that Mango have got a number of injuries may, and with the final five settled, I don't think they'll go across there wanting to take some form into the finals. But I think the Swans, this will be a danger game. I'm going to pick the Swans in Griffith to beat Mango, only based on the injury factor and the fact that the Swans may want to finish off the season on a winning note.
Okay. Leeton versus Wagga Tigers down in Leeton.
Certainly another game that I'd say the Crows would want to finish off. I mean, they've had an inconsistent year. I know they've been hit hard by injuries, etc., etc. Tigers, look, they had a really good win last week. Narandra were good for a period of time up to half time, but then the Wagga Tigers really played consistent footy after half time. Another game, I think it's a danger for the Tigers. They've got nothing to win or gain, only to take some form into the finals. I'd suggest that I'm going to pick Leeton Whitten to win, to finish off the season in an upset against the Tigers.
Okay. Coolman versus Gairmain. This is probably the game of the round. Do you think Coolman can finish off the season unbeaten?
Look, this is going to be a really good game. I mean, you just look through the results from last week, and Coolman were good winners. Gairmain were certainly good winners. And I'd suggest they've both got really good forward line structures. They've got good back lines. They've got good midfields. I mean, all the players, Kotzer, their captain coach again, Gairmain's really come to the fore in the last few weeks and playing consistent footy. I mean, Roberts up forward for Coolman will be a target, there's no doubt about that. I think they've been really consistent, both sides, at the right end of the year. Coolman may struggle with a couple of injuries, Gairmain may do the same, but I see, Pagey McPherson's been in their best players for Gairmain. Steele may be back for the finals as well, so I think both clubs are starting to get to full strength. Coolman at Coolman would be a great game. It's on a Sunday too, so there'll be a really good crowd there. I'll have to go for Coolman at home, but in a very close game.
Okay, and Narandra, they have the bye.
And Narandra will be looking forward to the bye. They've had a tough year. They've had a number of injuries, and they're looking forward to regroup for next year. We actually met with the footy club last week, and they're really keen to move forward and be consistent again and get on a winning note again next season after being the reigning premiers. But it's getting tougher and tougher in some of the country towns to recruit players, etc., etc. So well done to Narandra, well done to all the sides that are missing out in finals. But it's been a consistent year. It's been a good year, and we look forward to a good final series, and especially starting with the finals in the Farrell League starting this week.
Okay, thanks for joining us, Paul.
No problem.
Now, unfortunately, that's all we have time for this week. Be sure to join us again next week and also head out there and support your teams on Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be a great weekend of footy. But until next time, we'll see you then at aflriverina.com.au.